Good afternoon. It's Joyful Christian Hermit. Hopefully have a little better pain grip right now. Had to take a break through one and rest a while because my voice with Lovey was just grumpy sounding, and then I tried to do a email, sent something from the Book of Sinai of the 9th century to my friend back in the Midwest, just an excerpt from it that was lovely, and wrote a little bit and just started. I wasn't zoning out, I was dozing off while I kept writing. Just gibberish, letters. I don't know what on earth. I can't do much. Like yesterday, I weeded some and I'm just wasted from it. Anyway, I'll continue on out here. I'm trying not to complain so much. It's just so much worse than I've ever had. And I have to adapt to this. And praise God, and maybe my pain doctor is right. He was trying to build up how great it would be to switch with my daughter, and I don't think yet. I need to give myself a chance. I was sick for 11 weeks and bedridden for that and longer. I didn't really start trying to push until about 3 weeks ago, or 2.5 weeks ago, when my neighbor thankfully got on me a little bit. Anyway, I just set Twombly's Red Sentinel there. It would not be full in the winter though. It'd just be branches. So I'm thinking better maybe to have Philip's Tearful there. And I can take Twombly's back, but Twombly's will be tall and narrow. Keep it short, but a little extra touch of red out there would be nice, but that rose bush will be red, but it's different red. A little spot in here I can put another little tiny conifer. The miniature kinds I can stick in. I have to decide what I'm going to do with this yellow thing because it just got so huge. I guess I can keep trimming it, but eventually it will get woody. But it's nice to have a touch of gold there, even if it's just in the summer and fall, spring, summer, and fall. But I'm going to remove this, as I mentioned. It's a Picea omerica of some kind, but not a pendula bruns. So I'm thinking of putting Angel Falls there. Or I have a bluish conifer there, but they're different styles. But I could put the Twombly's Red Sentinel back here because it will stay very upright and narrow. And have that between and have that as a backdrop. This is a gorgeous tree here. Orange Dream, it's called, Orange Dream. And we double staked it because it was leaning forward due to the hedge being behind it when I got it in the ground. This is one of the first trees I got put in here. And it kept coming toward the light, so it was leaning out over the driveway more, got it more upright now. But that's a beauty. And I don't need to keep the Red Sentinel. It's just you usually can't find a tree, a Japanese maple that can take full sun, like Shana right there will take that. I don't even remember in the previous video if I talked about these perennials here. This is Snowdrift. I think that's I can't remember the technical term, but it's like Golden Globe or Orange Globe, something like that. No, I'm sorry. Some of you will know what it's called. I don't have the tag on it anymore, but I have a lot of, this one is Dianthus. I do know that. It's going to be coral colored when the blooms. You see one little bloom down there. I think I mentioned this one. It's not a lodgepole pine, it's a Flexillus. And it will get larger, but it's a miniature, a dwarf. I can keep it small. and I will. I'm not going to let it get much larger than maybe 2 feet tall and 2.5 feet around, maybe not even that big. Here's another one. This one's going to be a red. That one over there is orange, but this one will be red. And I have other different perennials that have come up just from seed, from the ones near it, so I will move those around. But these will be tall in summer. I'll show you these perennials when they're in full bloom. I've already, I think I talked about, I did the St. Mary's broom. I've mentioned this Norway maple, very old cultivar. Oh, the dogs are fussing now. They do this, they're roughhousing. And I need to get us over in the grass in case they pull me down. But, Lovey and Mercy, could you stop that right now? No, they're not going to. Did I mention the goat's beard here? It's a miniature goat's beard. It will get white plumish beard on it. The fronds that look like a white beard. These I had mentioned in the part that got cut off, the video that got cut off. These are the phloxes, summer phlox. Well, they're perennials though. And this one will get about 4 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet, and that one about the same, a little shorter. This one will be a bright purple, a pinkish purple, magenta. That one is a pale off-white lavender with a little darker purple edging to it. And there's another perennial that has, just found its spot there by that rose. I can remove that rose and put it elsewhere. And I could put back there, would be nice, for the red sentinel, because it stays very narrow and upright. That would actually be quite striking. This might be a little close to it, but I like to have things grow around. And I like the idea of a screen here. It would not be, 5 months or 6 months out of the year, it would not have leaves. You'd just see the bark or the stems. I love seeing the bark and stems and trunks of trees in the winter. I just love it. So especially some of these Japanese maples will have green bark. Some will have dark red, maroon. Others have exfoliating. This is an arborvitae. It gets more chartreuse in the winter, but it's, I just decided I'm not a real arborvitae fan, but since the color of it is different, not the traditional emerald green, and it is a nice statement there to enter into this other little area. But there's a clematis down there that will have white blooms, not super big white like the one I'm going to put on the other end, the arbor that's going to be down on the other end. This one is a purple clematis that's growing there, and once it gets established enough, I've just ordered called humic acid, H-U-M-I-C, humic acid. Supposed to put that on twice in the season, a couple of teaspoons each time, plus regular fertilizer. And that's what the greenhouse uses on theirs, and they're very healthy. This is only its second year here. This is the second season for this, so that's why it's not filled in. That one just was very robust. This soil needs to be amended down there. This, did I already mention this? This is the Phillips Golden Tears. This is what I was thinking of putting down there. Probably taking Frankie Boy out and just having a straight up and down 1 foot wide tall pillar, but with gold in it. I was thinking of putting it in the back so I could see it from bed, but realistically, I'm at this point, I think should give myself like a 1-year plan or less. Of course, could be any day. We don't know the day nor the hour, but I'm hoping to be here for another year to keep working on it, have it more finished for my daughter to have and buy. We'll make some kind of an arrangement. I would prefer not going to her townhome because of the tile floors and the concrete kill my back, and it's dark in there. If I could put in more windows, maybe, but there's an area quite near. However, that would be convenient for her and her friend because it's less than a half mile from their pickleball place that she's a co-founder of and works there. And you know, then they could come over if they needed to come over or didn't want to drive all the way home. Oops, I got to get more water in here. This is the little waterfall Japanese maple. I left this on here. It came like this, which is sort of odd, but that was left on there. There's a little leaf starting, see? Well, maybe you can't see. Right there. So that will make a branch. So I'm not giving up on that to make it balanced. But I don't mind things that are off kilter. I'm going to stake it up. I'm going to try to train this to be up on a standard. If it doesn't like being in a pot, I will plant it in the ground, just anywhere to keep it going. I got good prices on these 1 gallon little Japanese maples and conifers, the 1 gallon little miniatures and dwarfs. So this is a beauty here. When it gets large, in the fall in particular, it is fantastic. So I'm thinking of taking out the holly tree that's back there that is suffering. And of course it's also very sticky. But here are a few more things. I don't have a spot for this Ryusin, and I want to compare it. That might be Ryusin there, or else it's Sensu. I suspect it's Ryusin. But this is a nice find. It was very inexpensive, of course, in the little 1 gallon can. But I'm thinking in terms of planting, and then if my daughter's townhome has nothing, and I could develop that. It's very small, so I wouldn't need much. I would use the upright little growers too, but or a conifer where the holly is, or just try to give it some acidic fertilizer and see if I can pull it out. But down here's a little sweet. I love these Korean firs, Abies coriensis, and these they like a little more moisture. They like some shade, part sun, part shade. This one can take more sun. The very light ones, I have an aurea, a golden one that's back in a shaded area, practically shaded fully. This one here, this will get larger. This is a dwarf, but it can get like 4 feet tall, and it's a Scots pine moseri, and in the sun, it will have, these are my stones for my front of the house under there. It gets gold tips, gold tinges to it. This is a hemlock moonfrost, and I have one that's similar. It's not doing well over in shade under the tree, but I think the soil needs amending. But it does like partial shade. I am thinking if it can take water, I'm thinking of setting it back here in this spot. I have to research it more to see if it can take much moisture, because I had a gardenia back here which likes protection, but it could not take the moisture, and it didn't make it. So come back here. Oh, they're scared. I'm thinking of putting it here. It'll be down low. It'll spread around. Stick in a couple of bulbs, floral bulbs. I've shown you this before. I need to get this staked up and get it trained a little more. This is the threadleaf Japanese maple. It is the finest leaf of any. Well, I probably showed it to you on videos that I didn't post then. I'm doing this clematis back here, but I'm going to put it in this, or in the little spot behind it. And I want to build up the soil. I don't want it to get too soaked. This is a part shade clematis. We'll see how it does. Once the house is painted a darker anonymous color, it'll really stand out. And then this I also need to lift up a little. These have sort of sunk down in, but this is a Chamaecyparis obtusa gilly, and it's a little bit different for a Chamaecyparis. But see, I think it might be getting a little too much moisture, maybe. This back here, and I don't know. That might be an incorrect. That might be incorrect. This is Abies balsamia piccolo. It looks very similar to that leaf-wise. So I think that might be an Abies balsamia too. Might be a wrong tag because I'll show you what a Chamaecyparis is. I know it's a wrong tag. Definitely. Look out, puppies. We're tangled here. Come around here, Mercy. These need some help too. These hoocherias. I had some in here. They died. Too much moisture. Solomon seal is doing great. I know the begonias. I have these begonia bulbs to plant. They'll do great. And last year I put coleus in here and I tried to overwinter them in the garage and they didn't make it. But there's a little, I just stuck a little, it broke off, and I'm going to see if it grows in that moist soil there. But this one's struggling, obviously. I don't know if this is a beautiful Japanese maple, Orium. And this one is the first one I've gotten to grow of the 3 places I've had. Let me get it's a full moon, and a Japanese maple. And let me get Acer Shirasawami. Acer Shirasawami. Sort of a tongue twister, but I've gotten it to grow in here. I'm going to keep it very narrow, let it get tall and narrow, and I will also clip out in here. I don't want it to be super full, but I'm just letting it find its way. This I love this one, and to tell you the truth, I forget the name of it. This one is Tattoo, and this has green bark, and it's nubby and gnarly looking all winter. It's just great seeing that without leaves on it. This one is not spectacular in the winter, but it's interesting. You know, just the bark is just a light brown. I've been putting petunias in. This is a Chamaecyparis that needs water down in there. We had light rain last night, and obviously not enough. This Hutera might make it, or Hutera. I've heard it pronounced different ways. This is an Abies. This right here is a little Abies. Silver Mavers. Abies coriensis silver Mavers. This here, I'm glad I left it. Usually I don't have the tag. I have the tags inside. I'll have to figure out which ones. But see, I used to have such a good memory. I could just remember all of these, even their Latin names. That's why it's really sort of a shock. This is going to go back. I was thinking of trying this, but it will take full sun. But I don't need it, don't want it. I think I'd rather do the Red Emperor. I mean what did I call it? I think this is the Red Emperor. I'd rather do the one that will stay 3 feet at the most wide and 10 feet tall at the tallest. So I've got to, I guess I could figure that out. This is beautiful. This might be a limber. Another Pinus flexilla. Boy, that's dried already. These were just soaking this morning. Gotta get this watered. And see, this will grow a little more. See the growth on that. But I have, and this is a find. This was a Acer, a Japanese white pine. Let me think of the, yeah. It's a Tokyo dwarf, Pinus parviflora. See, look at that style of that. Always be a narrow and upright, but you can train it however you want. I have some anemones down here, 2 white and a pink with a big golden eye in the middle of it. This one was a little different. This is a Hebe, Canadian hemlock. So this one, it looks dry, but it's heavy. It's got moisture underneath. But this will want some part shade, part sun, but not much. Hemlocks need protection. I'll read up on that one to see if it's any different because it's not as delicate as the others. This one is Cushion Picea omerica. So that's very different for me to have a Picea omerica in a miniature. That growth is maybe 1/4 inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch a year. So it'll stay very small. And then the whole limit might be like 1 foot tall in 10 years. And let's see what this one is here. Oh, Taiyo Nishiki, Pinus parviflora. This is a Japanese white pine, but with very small needles. But you see how the needles are similar. They're both Japanese white pines, but this one is a miniature. This one will be, this probably can grow up to, I don't know, you can grow it as far as you want, but look, that will grow faster. That's a good 4 inches a year on that. See what this is. We had some weeds in it, but I think this is dumpy. Yes, this is dumpy, Picea abies. So Picea abies is, I think white pine, not Japanese, not Pinus parviflora, but abies. So just a white pine. That is not even an 1/8 inch growth. This will always stay small, but these are actually the blooms, and they turn into little cones. You won't even, you have to get a little magnifying glass out to see those. Here's the clematis that's going to go on the other end. Unless I take that out, it's tempting to take that out. I'd rather have this Guernsey cream out in front than in the back where it won't be seen much, because this is gorgeous. So I might dig that clematis out and put that one in there, and then put that clematis back on the other end. Although this one grows like 15 feet, it'll cover that whole thing, that whole arbor over there. So I have work cut out. It's just nothing compared to how it was 2 years ago. I had my whole body had shut down. I didn't know what was wrong. Here's a peeve tinge once it's large. I don't want this to get larger than this, so I'm going to keep it clipped back. These are all, they're mostly white blooms, some echinaceas, but most of this along here are white with a couple orange and a couple pink, dark pink, maybe one dark pink and a couple orange. This had gotten really full and overloaded and taller. I cut that off. You see all that I clipped off. I wanted to open it up to have it was just got solid. And I didn't think it was going to grow so large. There's my, I forget what kind of iris that is. It's not even called an iris. It has a different name, the one with the white strip in it. It's practically herbal. But these flowers are now looking red, but they started out more orange looking. some of them. I cut some of them out. And then these were orange and yellow, but they darkened into red. Look, red and yellow, actually, now, but earlier on. I like these forget-me-nots. They just sort of, I had something else that was more carpety, but it died out, got too woody, and just, you know, the branches. But here's more of them. I just let them reseed and come up where they will. This is also a flower that just popped up from seeds from the back. I had them growing in back. This, you know, like some shade, but some of these things you need for the golden, you actually need sun on them. But this is the northeast side more, so by 2 in the afternoon, or even 3, all this will be in shade. This is a ginkgo that I was lucky to get one of these. I had one back in the Midwest, took it out to the island, but had to leave it there. And it was gorgeous. It's called Roby's Twist. And the branches it's thin on this side, but I got the last one I could get from a greenhouse nursery in southern Illinois, friend of mine, and so I took what they had left, because you just can't find one of these Roby's Twists. I need to clip these off. I'll get my knife out and see, they're too tight. The bands are too tight. Gotta get that. This I might clip off short, so that, but it might twist around more. We'll see what that one branch does. But this side is sort of bare, but that's, I knew I would not find another Roby's Twist. I have not seen one any place but from, it was Davidson's. His name was David, but he died, and his wife remarried and sold the greenhouses. That's where I had most unusual Kirkus robur. That's a certain type of oak, very rare. Oh my, and General Schwarzenberg and others that, oh, just marvelous trees. They're left on the island. Got too large to move and didn't have any place to move them to. This is Hannah Matoy. It's actually a little dark, dark-leaved, probably from the sun, but I'm going to start staking this up more. I'm going to try to get this trained up, get a leader. You take a main leader, and that's how you train it. I want to get this up maybe 4 feet and going down, but no higher than this. I want to keep limits on it. Here's dianthus. They're going to bloom. These happen to be white and maroon dianthus. Here's another little conifer there, miniature. This is Catherine Elizabeth. So I have it dedicated to St. Catherine of Siena. And the middle name is my middle name, but it's my eldest daughter's first name. So, but I asked her just to pick a bush or anything she wanted as a prayer tree. She hasn't spoken to me in a long time, but she had come out for my surgery 2 years ago. And as I was saying, I had lost my ability to function. I didn't know, but my thyroid had gone out. So I found out what that problem was 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, in May. Took medicine, and within a couple of weeks, I was able to function again. This is a Pinus parviflora. This is a Japanese white pine there. So this is a huge clematis. I hook this tomato thing up here because this will just grow up all over it. This has gotten so huge, this clematis. It's gorgeous. When it gets going in the summer, it's just huge. And this had gotten, this I'm pretty sure this is Ryusin, not Sensu. I'll double check it and then decide if I'm gonna keep another Ryusin to move with me or but this has been in the ground quite a while. Anyway, I used gardening as my means to get back into shape again, and that's why I'm doing it now. I'm trying to do my yard work because it gets me going, gets me built up. This is Hana. Little gem. I don't know if this one's Hana. Maybe this one isn't. The big one's Hana. Let me double check the name of this. Yeah, this is Tomino no Yuki. Tomino no Yuki. I gotta come around and get all these leaves cleaned out by winter. And this huge maple, which is the neighbor's, and was planted 20 years ago, right on the line. And oh, the mess those leaves make, and it's really too much shade over there. But this is Kauai. That's a beauty right there. This one I also want to stake up, train it to get a little height to it. This I might keep here. It's growing very slowly, and it will do well out in the sun. Peeve tinge again on a standard. That's called on a standard. It's been trained that way. There's one right over there. See that little, well, you probably can't see it. This is a very rare holly that my friend from the Midwest, but this is, I don't think this is going to make it. I need to change the location of this immediately, and I think I might put it, maybe it needs more water. I'm going to put this back in the courtyard where it'll get a lot more moisture and more seclusion, because this should be a nice emerald green. That is going to be due immediately. Here's another Korean pine. Let's see if I have the tag. Hope so. Yeah, Little Nordy. Well, it's a fir. This is a fir, Caucasian fir. I was wrong. Not pine, they're firs. This is Abies normandia. Abies normandia. And it likes protection and not too much light. But for some reason, this isn't getting as much water. Now,